Marilyn Doobie here. Oh, what's the play for today? Well, today I'm playing around making an art journal page using my Hip to Be Square alphabet stencil. Now this is from StencilGirl Products, and this stencil solved two of my problems. The first one being is I love the look of things that look like they took some effort but don't really take any effort. So for things like lining up words, this stencil has an absolute cheat to it. And then the other thing is I love it when what I'm doing on my page actually looks like it belongs, that it coordinates, it goes with it. And sometimes when I go to put a title on, I can't remember what color I used, or I can't find just the right color, those kinds of things, and this stencil is a way around that. So this is a piece of book text that I cleaned my brayer off on when gel printing, and that's going to become the background for a quick art journal page. Now, all the reds on here, the pink, the orange, the yellow, that is all making me think of love, because red, well, makes me think of that. And I'm going to put the word love on here, but I want it to be a square word, and so I'm going to use the Hip to Be Square stencil to help me do that. Now, one of the things that I love about a masking stencil is how easy it makes it for things to match. So I'm going to start with the first letter here. I'm going to do the E. Yep, I'm working backwards, but you'll see why I'm doing that. I've got some black paint on a cosmetic sponge, and I am just pouncing up and down. If I want to get a really crisp image, I need to make sure that I go in that up and down motion, and I also want to use a small amount of paint on my stencil. So after I do one coat on it, if I don't think it's dark enough, then I'm going to put another light coat on top, like what I'm doing here with the black, and that's actually against my nature to usually glob on lots of paint, but I really want those crisp lines here, so I'm working really hard to remember to use a small amount. Well, now I'm going to line up the next letter, and all I'm going to do is line up the edge of that square from the E up against the square of the V, and that's how easy it is to get these things in a row and in a line. Now that's the first problem that this stencil solved for me. Makes it a snap and a breeze to do words that look like they've been carefully lined up when this is all it took. The other thing that they do for me is they create a title that perfectly matches and coordinates with whatever I'm doing. So if I was trying to find the exact paint colors that I used or get something that matched perfectly to put a title on this page, I don't know when I made this. I don't always know exactly what I used on it. It's really hard for me to match that up sometimes. But by using a masking stencil, it's the background that's showing through, so it is obviously going to match because it is the background. Now I decided I wanted the word love to be square, so I'm lining up the bottom of the O on top of the E. So you can build whatever geometric shape you want with these squares and arrange your letters however it makes you happy. Now this stencil also comes in a 6x6 size, and you can find these Hip to Be Square alphabets as well as all of the stencils that I've designed over at StencilGirlProducts.com. Now earlier in the video, I said things like use a small amount of paint, go in an up and down motion if you want crisp, clear images. And so far, that's been working for me. But on this letter, yeah, maybe not so much. I'm about to have a wee bit of an oops since I wanted everything to be super crisp and clear. But I had a lot of paint on that cosmetic sponge, and notice what I was doing there? I was going side to side, which is my preferred way to do it. But that's also going to lead to some paint running underneath the stencil. Now, am I going to panic? Am I going to realize it's the end of the world, that this page is completely ruined, it's over? Nah, it's an easy fix for this one. You can see on the bottom of the L, the paint kind of ran under there. Or perhaps I didn't have everything lined up just right, kind of like between the L and the O, there's that hair that's showing. Well, here's what I'm going to do. Cosmetic sponge right across it with the black, and all that stuff is going to disappear, and the only people that are going to know are you and me. The person that just looks at this finished will have no idea that that ever happened. Now I've also got a little bit of a paint smear happening inside the L. Just a little touch of it there, so I'm going to come in with a Q-tip and a little bit of water on it. While the paint is still damp, it's really easy to get that stuff to come up. I can even kind of clean up my O as I'm over here. Now I'm just getting kind of nitpicky about this. Oh, and by the way, the Q-tips that I love to use are the ones from the beauty department that have a nice little point, kind of like makeup Q-tips or cotton swabs or whatever the proper name is for them. Well, as soon as I saw the square love on there, I thought of a tree growing out of it. Because after all, love makes things grow and become strong and all that kind of thing. So I grabbed one of the trees from my Kandinsky's garden stencil, cosmetic sponge paint on there really quickly, and now I've got a tree growing up out of love. I'm just going to take a pen and I'm going to do a little bit of sketching, drawing, whatever around this. And of course, it's always smart to wait for your paint to be completely dry before doing this. And I may not have waited completely for that. So it's another case of do as I say, not as I do. Well, thanks so much for joining me for a little art journaling today. I hope you've had as much fun as I have. If you've been enjoying this video, give it that thumbs up. And of course, if you know of somebody that you think would enjoy this video, I'd so appreciate it if you shared it with them. And you can find more of the fun and play happening over on the blog at acolorfuljourney.com. And of course, if you hit that subscribe button, you'll know as soon as I have a new video out. Thanks so much for letting me be a part of your colorful journey.